Hi there, gang. This is Coach Jay with Full Circle Coaching Consulting, and I just wanted you to reach out today and talk to you a little bit about responsibility. We as small business owners, we frequently are put in the limelight, whether we like it or not. And I'm gonna let this talk today be dictated a little bit by a quote that I heard that is, and I don't know who somebody is responsible for it, but 90% of life is not what happens to us, but how we respond to it. And we had a little bit of in my chiropractic office this morning, we had a little bit of a gong show. And one of our clients left and she wasn't entirely happy with her experience in her office. And we certainly could have blamed it on a scheduling issue, which we did have. And we certainly could have blamed it on a staff issue, which we had some staff issues today. But ultimately, the scheduling, the staff, and how trained they are, and who's in front and who's communicating with people, like, that all falls back to me. And it was weighing on my mind. It was weighing on my mind today. And so I thought, well, I could probably just let it go. And I was talking with our office manager. She said, yeah, she was pretty upset about this and that. And I said, well, do you feel like it's worthy of a phone call? And she said, yeah, it's definitely worthy of what we call a first call. And with our first calls, these are accountability tools. This is the system that we have for the staff to make sure that if something happens in the course of our day, that this is how the doctor keeps up with it, the first calls. If I don't get a first call from somebody, it won't happen. In this particular case, I was feeling like, I could just go to the gym and work out and just forget about it. But it would have become a bigger thing later on. So I took responsibility. I called her and said, hey, I just want you to know, we dropped the ball in the office today. And I told her a little bit about our school. I'm not going to let years of good experiences there be ruined by one event. And I appreciate that. But you know what? I feel like had I not reached out and made that extra and took responsibility and accountability for what happened at the top, that might not have happened for her. She might not have let it go. And it likely would have become something bigger later on. So just something to think about, guys. Where can we take a little bit more responsibility and accountability for ourselves as small business owners, as doctors, as chiropractors, as attorneys? My job is to help hold you accountable to take those steps to become a bigger, better, stronger, more authentic version of yourself. I heard another coach talking recently about having the experience of a church in a gas station, meaning that you can run a church that looks like a gas station, or you can have a gas station that runs amazingly smooth like a church. So what I wanted to do today with reaching out to this human was make them feel like they just weren't in a gas station, they just weren't somebody else, that they were something special, that they were part of our community, and that they mattered. And I think in the end, first of all, I learned my lesson, the staff learned their lesson, and we do have some course corrections, some systems to take up to a higher level, so this does not happen again. But that being said, for now, I feel like our system, definitely the net, caught things from being worse than they could have been. If we can help with your systems, if we can help you take responsibility and accountability for your life, please reach out to us right away. That's why we're here. We're here to help you grow and to be a better entrepreneur. I feel like if one of my clients had this experience, they would have texted me, hey, coach, what do I do about this? And I would have responded right away. That's our job, is to be there for our clients. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.